You are now listening to the fastest show on iSports Radio. My name is Darryl Kinsey Jr. welcoming you to the Lap Extra Mile for today, July 16th, 2025. Well, the IHRA is back. Sports cars are in action in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and in Canada. IndyCar went to Iowa, if anybody saw it. And NASCAR was in Sonoma, and Shane Van Gisbergen showed he is the road warrior in NASCAR. Freddie B from the Racelets podcast is here. We're going to talk IndyCar in just a little bit, and we'll get into all of that after we pay some bills. We'll be right back after this.
For the last 10 years, iSports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at iSports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iSportsRadio.com. At iSportsRadio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here in the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Darryl Kinsey Jr. here, back with you for another edition. I want to apologize for us doing this episode a little bit late, but unfortunately, we're back to our usual weather pattern here in DC when it comes to summer, which is hot during the day and then the thunderstorms at night. Well, we got some pretty bad thunderstorms on Monday. I came down to do the show, looked out the window that's over my left shoulder here. You can't see it, but the sky was green out there. And at that point, it made a lot more sense not to turn on my $5,000 computer and possibly fry it from a thunderstorm. So we delayed until today. Thankfully, no storms this evening. Thank God, because we are getting inundated by it. So we are on to do the show today. And, of course, we're going to start with IndyCar. And joining me as friend of the show, Freddie B of the Racelets podcast. Freddie, thanks for coming back with us this evening, man.
Of course, Darryl. Hope the weather is better there for you now. And it's great to be back on the show. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We love having you around. Great IndyCar fan. I know you've been enjoying this season, even though the wins have been pretty consolidated. Before we go any further, just want to remind everyone that down at the bottom of the screen, we are running the banners for some relief funds for Kerr County in Texas to help with the flooding relief down there for those devastating storms from 2 weeks ago. So if you can donate, please, links are there at the bottom of our screen. So we will get into the show for the Iowa weekend, and I guess we can start where we started before we came on air, which was, it was a great race if anybody was there to see it. The stands were pretty bad.
Sparse, to say the least. It looked like they had undersold by about 6,000 seats per day. And that's a doubleheader that is one of the marquee races of the summer. In years previous, it was put on by Hy-Vee, the grocery chain store in the Midwest, and they had always put on some really good concerts for the fans during the days. And this time, it turned out to be like a dud as far as promotion, and that translated into the poor attendance numbers with butts in the seats there. They did have a tornado watch and warning on Friday, which canceled practices, but the weather was better over the weekend. I just don't understand what IndyCar is doing in their lack of promotion.
I feel like that has been a complaint we have had since the Izod days, that they just do not do promotion for anything that's not the Indy 500.
Yeah,
Like,
and like we talked about pre-show, Daryl, is yesterday we had the Major League Baseball All-Star Game on Fox, and baseball being the number one sport in America, and that was a prime opportunity to advertise your product in IndyCar. And they dropped the ball, so to speak, in terms of trying to capture, some fans while they're watching the baseball game. Just rerunning the same commercials over and over. Alex Below, Joseph Newgarden, those guys, they got to start doing something to pump this sport up, because it is such a great sport. And if you got to compete with NASCAR on Fox, um, they're going to have to step up their game to draw those audience numbers.
and it's not even just that. I feel like their social media game is just behind. Again, unless it's the Indy 500, because we see during Indy, everything they don't do during the rest of the year, they do it. And they do it to a T. And we're always like, okay, continue this for the rest of the year. And then they don't. And it's frustrating.
I don't know who's in charge of promotions for IndyCar as a whole, but you're seeing a lot of the teams do their own promotional work now. Arrow McLaren is always very active on social media. Team Penske's been really good. This year, ECR has done a tremendous job with their sponsorship and partnership with Java House. They're running commercials for their two drivers. And Andretti's done a really good job promoting their drivers. But as a whole, the IndyCar nation needs to be promoting this. And they need to overhaul and really pump it up, because it's such a great product that they have on the track.
And with NASCAR scuttling, they have an opportunity to regain that spot where they were before the turn of the century and the IndyCar Civil War, which I will always find it hilarious, because CBS Sunday Morning did an IndyCar segment, and they refer to pretty much the collapse of IndyCar's peak as a minor reorganization of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember hearing that. I'm like, yeah, that's putting it mildly what happened at that point.
Yeah. The unification was the greatest thing to happen, is getting CART and IndyCar back into one. And up until this point, it's been great. I think NBC Sports did a really good job of advertising and promotion. And if you look at the ratings on TV, the numbers last year on NBC and their partners were a lot higher than what we're seeing on Fox. And we're getting these races on actual Fox channel, not Fox Swan. They're showing, qualifying and practice sessions, but you're getting your races on the prime time network. And I really wish, and especially now we got Toronto coming up this weekend, and I have not seen much of anything as far as promoting this race.
Not at all. And unfortunate, you need some, and I think this is for racing in general, we need some youth at the top of these organizations, because there's a lot of folks that are set in their ways, and that's putting it mildly, and that's not going to help us push the sport forward. But that's a conversation IndyCar fans and racing fans in general will be having for years and years to come. Let's talk about something a bit more uplifting, like the fact that these races on Saturday and Sunday, night and day difference compared to what we had last year. The top line was working again, and we saw drivers putting that line to work in Iowa.
Yeah, especially race number one. You had Scott McLaughlin, who crashed during qualifying, which meant he had to start in the back of the field. And watching him use that top line to knife and carve his way through that field, he ended up finishing fourth in Saturday's race. And once they saw his line and how he was progressing through the field, you saw a few other drivers start taking that route, like Connor Daly. He was another one who was really taking that high line road. And then on Sunday, Scott McLaughlin again had already passed 4 cars on the first lap, and then he was caught up in an incident. But I would love to have seen what he could have done in day 2. He had a bullet for a vehicle, and it was a shame that his day ended so early. But
Yeah, that was an unfortunate incident on lap 4, but he was making that top line work, and they did do some changes to the aero on the cars for Iowa this weekend, because after last year was a really just a one groove race, it really helped. And I think the fact that track got to sit for a year and get weathered on it also helped. But Connor Daly, take a bow, young man. He put on a show this weekend. Obviously did not have the finish he wanted in the second race, but 7th in the first race, started 2nd, and ran better than 7th all day. It was fun to see him and Juncos up there putting on a race.
yeah, Connor, this was his race, and I had a great feeling, and I even predicted him coming up with a podium coming into this weekend as a dark horse, but not really a dark horse because he is so good at short track ovals. And unfortunately, race number 1 didn't go the way he wanted. He fell a few positions further behind than where he wanted to, but great performance by him. And he's really doing a great job with Juncos, and he doesn't even have any sponsorships really on his car. This last weekend, he was basically sponsorless. He needs a big sponsor because he's doing a great job, and Connor's got a big fan base. He's an Indiana kid. Fans love him, and he's doing a really good job with a team that is trying to make their way into IndyCar. They're trying to get, and compete with the top guys in the league, and they're doing a pretty good job. Fortunately, I can't say the same thing for his partner, Stingray Robb. Tough goings for him again this season and for the team. Did you see that Sunday after the race as they were leaving, Stingray Robb and that Juncos Hollinger their truck caught fire on the way out of town, and they had some damage to their hauler there and to the car. So they've been working extremely hard. This is already a hard enough month with 5 races in 4 weeks, and to put those guys, extra work, it's tough. I feel bad.
I feel like that is a microcosm of Stingray Robb's career, former guest on the show during the COVID red flag, but Stingray's just not been able to put it together at the top level. It's sad to say.
No, you know what? I feel bad for Stingray. I just want him to do well. Unfortunately, I just don't see any promise. I don't know if it's him personally or the team he's with, but 2 years now and basically zero to show for it. So.
I don't think the team is helping. I will say that, but at the same time, the year before he spent a lot of time on the hook, and then this year he's just been slow.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell if it's him or the car, but it's rough, and we hope he gets it turned around, because we interviewed him during COVID when everybody was sitting at home, and he sounds like a great guy. It's just this isn't working out right now in IndyCar.
Yeah, and it's really crazy to think too, because the separation of these guys who've got promising futures, and then when they do make it to, say, the big leagues of IndyCar racing, they just can't hang with the big dogs. You're seeing that with a lot of these guys, and they can have a great career in NXT or Indy Lights or whatever they were racing previous, but when it comes to big time racing with Indy, it just doesn't translate for them.
Well, I think it underscores how tough these top levels of motorsports are. I mean, we see it in F1 all the time. All these F2 champions come up and don't even sniff a win or a podium, but sometimes that deals with the teams that they get into. But I think a better comparison is like NASCAR. We see people all the time tear up the Xfinity Series. They get to Cup and they can't get through 20th.
Yeah.
Because it's all the guys that they have been the best wherever they've gone. And they look at you as you're just another guy. And for the first time, a lot of these drivers find themselves as just another guy against absolute superstars. And it's difficult.
I will have to say, Darryl, that two guys that are really standing out for me that are rookies that I could see as potentially having good careers in IndyCar are Louis Foster and Robert Schwartzman. Both had great weekends again, and they're both showing that I think they can do pretty well. You know, Robert, obviously with Team Prema, the brand new team with IndyCar, and he had another great weekend of races. You know, a couple of, I think he had a top 10, and I think he was in the top 15 of race number 2. So I could have that right.
Louis had 2 14th place finishes. But that's for a rookie. You just want consistency, and he was consistent and logging laps, which he did. Unfortunately, I'm trying to find Robert Schwartzman. He was only 20th in race number 1, which was the Sync 275, and the farm to finish 275, he rebounded for a 9th place finish.
Okay, so it was the second race, the top 10. Yeah, but that's still outstanding.
Yeah,
finished 9th in race 2, which is 1 place higher than Joseph Newgarden finished in the second race.
Yeah, and remember his first oval was the Indy 500.
Yeah,
which he started on the pole for, and then went through the rookie struggles of the Indy 500. So for him to come to what is now his 3rd and 4th oval race, get a top 10 in one of them, that's a great checkbox moving into next year.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing more out of him in his first half of his rookie season than I've seen out of some of these guys in 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah. And then you mentioned Louis Foster. He has been the one bright spot in Ray Hall, Lanigan, Letterman this year. Graham he's Graham. That's a complete sentence.
It is. You know, I want so bad for Graham to do well. You know, he's such a good guy too off the track, and he just can't put it together. I don't know what it is, and you know, maybe this weekend will be a turn of fate for Graham.
Yeah, that's the hope. And on the other side, Devlin DiFrancesco, same. He shows up. He is definitely on the results sheet. That's what you can say.
Well, you can say what you want about him. I mean, you get 5 points for finishing in 27th place in a race, and he came away with 16 points in 2 races in Iowa. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So he's gonna have some. I mean, that team's got work to do. We know that. Ray Hall is surprisingly getting up there, but speaking of teams with work to do. Another unfortunate weekend for 2/3 of Team Penske. McLaughlin Willpower have issues in race 2. Race number 1, Joseph Newgarden utterly dominates that race. At one point, he was on track to lead every lap of that race, which hadn't been done since the Milwaukee Mile in 2004.
I think that was Ryan Hunter-Reay, wasn't it?
Yeah, and a couple of late restarts, couldn't come home with it. Pato O'Ward, in his 100th start, picks up the win on Saturday, and you're thinking on Sunday, okay, Joseph's got it. I'll give you 2 hints on who won that race on Sunday, and the first one doesn't count.
Exactly. You know what? Joseph raced his butt off on Sunday as well, and if it wasn't for 2 of the most unfortunate, untimely yellows that I've ever seen when it came to his pit stops, he would have won that race, in my opinion. But
absolutely,
he pits under green conditions, and while he's in the pits, an Andretti car has a right wheel failure and crash and cause a yellow, which meant Joseph every time had to go to the back of the field on that lead, whoever was on the lead lap. And the first time he was able to work his way back through the field and was leading the race again. The second time, though, however, he had to start in 7th. And I think there was about 15 laps to go in the final shootout, and he didn't have it in him and in his car to pass the field as he was so good, and I felt terrible because it was the first time all season that we've seen Penske really put the pedal to the metal and were great, and just an unfortunate set of circumstances for Joseph.
Yep. Stofy Person from Twitch saying, good evening. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. I hope you're enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, thank you guys so much for listening tonight. One more thing before we let you get out of here, Freddie. Indy NXT saw some history over the weekend. Miles Rowe becoming the first black driver to win in Indy NXT, which, for obvious reasons, I was over the moon to see him pick up the win. He's been knocking on the door a couple of times, so it was so nice.
That was outstanding.
To see him get it done.
I again am super stoked to see Miles get a victory, and he's going against some pretty good competition in that NXT lineup this year. And it was just a matter of time for him to do it, and I'm so proud of him and everything he's done. He's had a really good working partnership with Team Penske as well. That is kind of like his mentor. He's done worked closely with those guys, and outstanding job to be the first African American to win an IndyCar race is something to be extremely proud of.
So we hope the best for Miles continuing on in his career, and one day hopefully we'll see him gritting up at the Indy 500 before too long. So Freddie, thank you so much for joining us. Let everybody know where they can see the podcast.
Oh yeah, you can reach us. You can listen to us at Racelets Podcast on Twitter and on Spotify. You can also, I'm sorry, not on Twitter, but on YouTube and Spotify. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Racelets IndyCar Podcast and Racelets Podcast. Darryl, we didn't even talk about Alex Palou winning one of these races and what he's doing again. 7 wins now. 7 or 8 wins. I've lost track at this point.
I've run out of adjectives to describe this season. It is he's an all-time great at this point. I think that's what we can say. He is on his way to winning the championship.
Yeah, they're chiseling his face out right now on the Mount Rushmore of IndyCar drivers.
Absolutely, man. So,
but one thing, if I could make one more comment, I know you're up on the time here. My opinion and prediction for this week is an Andretti car is going to win in Toronto. We saw Colton Herta win last year. Kyle Kirkwood come in second. I think those two guys have a great shot to win again this weekend. And we'll see if Alex Palou can increase his point lead and get closer to clinching that championship.
I think that's probably a certainty at this point. But, well, unless he has some issues at the border, I think he's going to be in with a shot. But, Freddie, thank you so much. And we'll talk after Canada, after Toronto.
Sounds good, eh? Thanks, Darryl.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Larry B is here. He's going to join us, and we're going to get into some sports car action and the return of the International Hot Rod Association. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break on the Extra Mile here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
IE Sports Radio fans, be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
And we're back here in the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your rec feed for all that is sports. Larry B is here. We'll get him on the screen in just a moment. Just want to remind everyone, if you can support Kerr County Flooding Relief, down below are some great charities that are helping out the folks in Texas from these devastating storms. And it doesn't matter the political implications or who voted for who, or whatever that nonsense, or who said what about what state. At the end of the day, there's one flag. It's red, white, blue, and has stars on it. Help out your fellow American in their time of need and be better than the people you don't like, supposedly. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and get into the motorsports. Larry B is here with me this evening. Sir, hello. How are you?
I'm doing great, good sir. How are you doing today, Darryl?
I'm doing excellent. Glad to be here without the sky falling. Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't do the show on Monday because all you would have heard was constant thunder in the background.
Well, thankfully, everything's good. Number one thing, that thankfully everyone's okay over there. The storm's gone.
Yes.
Again, just as Darryl said, you guys, look, IE Sports Radio, I always say, we're like a football team. We're a big team that just hits each other because we're sports fans who don't like this team or this team. But hey, we're all brought together. We love it. That's what we do. Same thing, guys. Please, down below as well, give what you can, because at the end of the day, I love what Darryl just said. Hey, no matter what, who's who, whatever, we're all people. We're all Americans. Help take care of your own. So great message there, Darryl. I love that.
Thank you. So let's get into the racing. We'll start with, we did have some drag racing, some nitro this weekend. The return of the International Hot Rod Association, their first Pro-Am in God knows how long, was held at Durana Raceway at Hebron, Ohio. Scott Palmer took the win in Top Fuel over Krista Baldwin, while Mike McIntyre in the Mac Attack took the win over Del Worsham. Those races can be watched on Speed Sport 1. If you have Amazon Prime, go to Prime, click Automotive. Speed Sport 1 is there. You can watch the races. I'm telling everybody that now because I was struggling to find it, and then I did. It was actually, I will say, Larry, it was pretty good production. Excuse me. As far as the racing quality, look, I'm going to be honest. These are a lot of teams that you will see in the back half of a Mission Foods qualifying order and some independent drivers. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see the 3.6s. These teams just don't have the money for it. No. However, you are going to see consistent passes, and that's what we saw. A lot of 4.06s, a lot of 3.90 was about where they topped out, but it's a place where the teams that don't have the money still have an opportunity to go and race for an actual championship. And that's why I think the IHRA has a place, and I'm glad it's back.
Me too. It's a really great, honestly, great series. And it was awesome, man. Scott Palmer, congratulations to him, by the way. Glad I talked about him in Top Fuel, man. It defeated Krista Baldwin, right? If I'm not mistaken, in the final. And yeah, I mean, look at that. 3.9. 278 miles per hour. Again, guys, look, the best part about this is we still get awesome hot rod action. It was really neat, very again, it's not the tier. Obviously, as a big NHRA guy, you know what I mean. It's not the NHRA, but realistically, this is cool because we get so many different drivers, so many different teams. As you said earlier, the independent. I think it's so cool that we have this. I think it's neat that this has been around for a while. Thankfully, it's returned. Again, big ups to Mike McIntyre. Did his thing there. This is his first, if I'm not mistaken, his first IHRA win since like 2008, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and that's around the time that the IHRA unfortunately folded. They were one of the casualties of the 2008 financial crisis. Clay Milliken made his career there, just tearing up the IHRA top fuel ranks. And on the other side, we had Scott Palmer, who got his first top fuel win ever. It started on Saturday, ended up on Sunday. So good to see. But poor Krista Baldwin just couldn't get the car down the track at all during the weekend, but managed to get the good luck, kept going rounds despite not getting the car down the track. The first time they get it down the track on a weekend, they lose the round to Scott Palmer.
Rough go, but hey, as it goes there, that freaking sucks. But hey, racing's racing, right there. I mean, it sucks, but sometimes it's gonna happen for you, and sometimes it's not. And unfortunately, that's this weekend.
That's motorsports. That's all I can say. So
it was rough. It really was. But you know what? Again, hey, better days are coming. I saw. Oh my gosh, this one came out of nowhere. There, I didn't even know we were going to talk about the IHRA today. But I'm excited. Frankie, the madman, he came and did his thing in pro mod. There's that crazy one, the Mountain Motor Pro Stock one.
those run at in PDRA as well. They're great to see. Pro Mod, I'm so glad they're back because that was a staple of the IHRA for years. That was actually where I first learned that Pro Mod was even a thing. But so many good championships. We did have some factory stock drivers out there. Jason Deesh won that class. Tim Shuck won Hot Rod. These are some of your undercard classes. Unfortunately, I gotta kind of shake the stick at the IHRA because we had a pretty serious safety issue with Top Sportsman. I don't know if you saw this one, but on Wednesday during testing, Marvin Blaney had a pretty horrific explosion of the nitrous bottle. And I did see the video. We are not going to show it here, even though it wouldn't get us any copyright issues, because it is frankly distressing what happened. The safety response from the IHRA, I understand this is their first time really as an organization since 2008. It took about 30 seconds. And look, I get it. The car's 120 feet from the start-finish line. It took 45 seconds to get a working fire extinguisher down there.
No.
Took 2 minutes for the water truck to get there.
No.
The ambulance doesn't get there until about the end of the video. The entire video length is 3 minutes long.
No.
This could have been so much worse. Marvin Blaney got seriously burned in the incident. From what I have heard and what has been intimated, he may have been knocked unconscious by the nitrous bottle going up, which is why the onboard fire extinguisher never activated during the incident. He didn't get a chance to turn it because the concussion knocked him out. But the safety response has to be better, and that's been the response this weekend. If you've seen any of the comments on social media.
Yeah, has to be. Darryl, I mean, you look at obvious, and I get it. You're right. It's not. These guys it isn't top tier. We get it, okay? We understand that this isn't the Hamalta team or, you know what I mean? This isn't those, but this is somebody's life, man. And we do understand, no matter, I mean, gosh dang it, man, a paramedic. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, what do you call it? Okay, well, I'll go down a different alley with that one, Darryl. But anyway, but I will say, because we can go on for this forever, but guys, we have to understand something. High school football games, we have an ambulance just chilling, right? We have paramedics at all sports. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. I'm not saying that some sports are should be more taken serious than others because they should all be taken very serious because injuries happen. But Darryl, come on, man. These cars, I mean, you talked about it before. Some of these cars are a freaking bomb. Okay, if the engineers don't get things correctly, top fuel, exactly. So if you think about this, Darryl, let's be real. We got to be better. We know that this more than anything, these auto sports, especially something like the IHRA, the NHRA, we have to know, right, that things can get very ugly very quickly. The response has to be there. I'm sorry, but if somebody thinks 30 seconds is quick, I mean, come on, man. A life, bad things can happen in fractions of a second. So we have to be better. And I'm totally with you, Darryl. Video, not cool. It sucks when and I get it. These people I get it. They probably thought they responded as fast as possible. But look, for next time, please, let's make sure we do a little better because you never know what can happen and it sucks. And that's how it goes, right, Darryl? I mean, this was unfortunately we've lost some greats, right? But when it comes down to it, we have to be better because if not, it's a life. At the end of the day, these are drivers, they're professionals, we get it, but it's a life and we got to be better.
I mean, this could have ended poorly. I mean, this is your first event and you almost had a death. It's not great.
No.
It's not great at all, but hopefully we just take some lessons from this and we don't try to deflect or get defensive. Just learn from it. We definitely probably need a team at the top end as well as the bottom end because the problem is the ambulance had to come from a quarter mile away because it was all the way down to the shutoff area. Probably need an ambulance up top as well.
Yes.
And a fire truck from up top because the truck had to come from the back or from the shutdown area too. So that didn't help either. So a lot of lessons to take from this. We want to send our well wishes to Marvin Blaney and his family.
No, I'm totally with you. And it's the truth, man. I'm sorry, Darryl. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to even think about this, but it happens, right? And it's unfortunate. But when these things happen, we need to be prepared.
Yeah. So the IHRA will be back in competition July 23rd through 26th at the Milan Dragway. You can watch that on Speed Sports. Speed Sport 1. You can also get tickets on ihra.com/events.
Mm-hmm.
And this weekend was chocked full of sports car racing. So we're going to get into our sports car wrap up. We'll start with the 6 hours of, I'm about to say St. Paul. The 6 hours of Sao Paulo in Brazil where Cadillac finally gets one in a WEC.
How about that, man? A historic maiden hypercar win in the FIA WEC, man. With drivers, I mean, Lynn, Nato, Stevens. Look, they did great. That was awesome. They secured the pole position in both qualifying and in hyperpole. Following Cadillac's breakthrough at Le Mans, they hold off a sister Cadillac team at the 38 and it was a 1-2 finish, man. I mean, hey, bravo. Cadillac looked really good this weekend, man.
Yeah, they've been knocking on the door for a couple of years now. Like I mentioned last year where they had a chance at Spa when Chip Ganassi was running the cars, and unfortunately that ended with a huge accident through Eau Rouge and Radillon because no one ever wrecks soft in those corners. But they've just been plugging along Hertz Team Joda, and they finally picked up a much-deserved win for the Cadillac. On the other side, AF Course in the Ferrari and Toyota. The pace was not there. There were some conversations about the BOP and whether or not those cars got hit a little too hard, but fact of the matter, that Ferrari was just nowhere to be seen on Sunday.
I thought I was watching Formula One, Darryl. I mean, what else do you say? But hey, at least I can say that Ferrari, the AF course, has been pretty good this year, and they've done well. Unlike Ferrari, who I'm still looking for them. Remember we were looking for the Summit team a couple years ago. Remember,
Yeah.
like 8 years ago, and we were looking for, because they were nowhere to be found in the NHRA. Well, it's the same thing. But yeah, no, honestly, Darryl, it just wasn't a good day for Ferrari. But you know what? Bad days happen, right? It was a great day for Cadillac. Good for them. But yeah, this weekend, there was just nothing there. It looked very early on as if there was something going down.
Yes.
It didn't seem like they were, that solid. And when it comes down to it, Cadillac is just hit the marks, man. And they look really good.
Yep. All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have some NASCAR to get to and some Shane Van Gisbergen. He is the road warrior. We'll talk about this on the other side of this break here on the Extra Mile on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Law.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. Excited, man. Again, Darryl, thanks again for having me, man. I'm excited. We got lots to get into again with this deal here, man. I'm really excited. We had some great stuff with that 6 hours. I mean, obviously, the crazy one. I mean, we have LMGT3. We can get into that in a few moments here. And that IMSA race, oh, man. I'm telling you, I love me some from. You're the one, by the way, Darryl, who got me into sports car, and now look at me. I'm like all over this freaking crap, man. So anyway, Darryl, where would we leave off at? 6 hour?
Yeah, so let's wrap up. Let's put a bow on the 6 hour. The Lexus, the 87, finally picks up a win this year. Their second points finish of the year as well with the 87. TF Sport, the Corvette, also rebounded for the second, and the Racing Spirit of Le Mans, Aston Martin, wrapped up the podium there. And that was a great battle between Spirit of Le Mans and Iron Dames there in the final hour. for the podium. The Iron Dames just couldn't hold on, but still a great race out of them.
I'll tell you right now, I've become a fan of them. My wife and I, we follow them now. Their pink car, she's all about woman power, my wife. So she loves the fact that these 4 women are out there going head to head with these guys. She's loving it. But and you know what? You want to cheer them on. They did a really, really good job. But man, you gotta show love, man, to that Lexus delivering their first ever LMGT3 victory for Lexus. Jose Maria Lopez, Glenn Schmid. I hate butchering his freaking name, man. Abarescu. I feel so bad butchering his name.
I know a lot of these sports car names are hard.
But you know what? It was awesome, man. It was really cool seeing them get it done. Just what a drive for these guys out there. And Cadillac's first hypercar win. And LMGT3's Lexus breakthrough marked a pivotal weekend. It really did, showing like a big shifting balance in WEC's competitive landscape. And with three races remaining, the Hypercar Championship is heating up. Ferrari still leads, but Cadillac's Jota is now firmly in podium contention. I mean, I don't know, man. What's next? I'm excited for what's to come, but WEC is definitely a lot of fun to watch. Everybody should get into this.
Yeah, we have Austin coming up in September, so you've got plenty of time to check out the WEC. And IMSA was in Canada for the Chevrolet Grand Prix. AO Racing, Dane Cameron and PJ Hyatt pick up the win there. Spike's first win in IMSA after a rather dramatic crash at the end of the race there for inter-Europol competition. That was a brake failure of some description, I think, that happened there. And that team was on their way to victory. And unfortunately, they end up with a busted-up car after that. Dragon Speed takes the win in GTD Pro, and in GTD, Wayne Taylor Racing with Trent Hinman and Danny Formal. They spun on lap 1 and come back and win the race. So it was not over for them at all.
Isn't that crazy? You gotta love that, right? I mean, but again, this is IMSA. This is endurance, right? I mean, this is where, hey, just because something bad happens to you in the first so often, well, guess what? Now you still have a chance. So to me, it was great. Crappy way to end. Obviously, you feel bad for, you hope everyone's okay and safe, right? When you see a wreck, but oh man, ending under a caution, just it's nasty. It sucks.
Well, it's a timed race, so the thing is, they had to do barrier repair, and
yeah,
fact that somebody had to get taken off on a backboard, although that was just for precautions because that was a pretty nasty hit into the wall. So
yeah, and that's not nothing you want to see. So I mean, obviously, just crappy, but like I said, it was rough. I wish we could have had a better, a more dramatic finish, even though some of these were already over. But yeah, man, AO Racing Orca looked great in LMP2. They were just on one. I mean, they finished, 113 laps, I believe, or something like that around there. And it was great. Podium sweep for these guys. 1, 2, 3, Frogger Robinson. I mean, they looked really, really, really good. You look at GTD Pro, obviously, Corvette, that Z06, man. Well done. I mean, GTD also looked really, really good. Paul Milner racing the BMW. Like, it was a fun weekend for IMSA. But like I said, I guess wish we could have had a little bit of a better finish. It kind of sucks when that happens.
Yeah, but we do have Road America coming up in August, which is a highlight of the season. And next year, that race is going to be elevated to endurance status. So there'll be a 6-hour at Road America next year. For now, it's going to be the Motul Sports Car Grand Prix. That'll be August 1st to the 3rd. Of course, you can watch that race on Peacock as we are getting to the final 4 of the IMSA WeatherTech Championship. This is always a series that I wish had 1 or 2 more races, but with all the international commitments, it's at the perfect length for the season.
It is, and again, it's true. I wish we had more. And what can I say, man? I mean, when you become such a big fan of this, you want more. You want it to be, and who knows? It might happen. I mean, I don't know, Daryl. That's a question I've always had for you too. Is because obviously these series, they're not so, they have these big breaks and everything. Do you ever see either of these series getting more, getting bigger, growing more, or do you feel that no, they're going to stay right where they are? What do you think?
With the intricacies of sports car racing, I think they're pretty much they are where they are
Yeah.
when it comes to schedule. And with how much that goes into running these races, none of these races are short or cheap because these cars are running from 6 to 24 hours long, or from 100 minutes if you count the two short races here in the United States, up to 24 hours in Daytona and Le Mans. So, and a lot of these teams also run, particularly GT3, they run Sprint Series and they run the World GT schedule, and then some of the series, obviously, they run the regional series in Europe or here during the season. In the case of the World Endurance Championship,
Yeah.
I don't think you can pack any more races into the schedule than we already have.
It's true. I wish we could because it's just fun seeing it. But you're right. I mean, in so many different points, even especially financially, and if it's hard. So realistically, it's hard to get that to happen. But man, just the thought of it, though. I mean, hey! I will say this, Daryl. You and I once said a long, long time ago, even though it really wasn't that long ago. We once said, how cool would it be if Formula One was on? It was in the streets of Vegas, rushing, rolling down the strip, or in New York. I mean, you're saying some things are kind of happening, even though these are, this is probably a little far-fetched, but regardless, two great series here. And again, guys, I mean, if you want to check out some great sports car action, trust me, this is so much fun because, as Darryl once told me before, the best part about these cars is some of them, not all of them, like Hypercar and LMP2 and everything, but honestly, you guys, the coolest part about these races is these are some of your everyday cars that you see just to their full potential, and that is cool enough.
Yeah. And I can't wait for the rest of the season. And I've got to get back. I'm going to try to get it back out to the Rolex again at some point. You owe it to yourself to get out there. That was such a fun. Hopefully it won't be as cold next time.
I'm so happy you went.
Yeah, but I'm not happy I went the one time in the next 50 years that Florida is going to get actual winter.
I'm sorry, Darryl. That's such a bummer.
If you can tell by the reason the way I keep bringing it up every time we talk about it, we did not pack for actual winter in Florida.
Right. The one place that you would swear that there's never a winter. One.
Yeah, it snowed the first time, the first couple of days we were there.
Daryl's not happy, guys.
No.
Daryl's very disappointed in this trip.
Not really. Disappointed in the weather. The rest of it was fine.
Yes. But yeah, what a bummer. But no, I definitely would. I'd love to join you, man. That looks like so much fun. Rolex is just it's something that we the racing fans, it's something you have to experience. I'm sure, right? Like you said,
Yeah. So let's get into NASCAR now as we get ready to wrap things up. What is the name of this race?
The Toyota Save Mart?
Well, NASCAR at Sonoma. Oh yeah, the Save Mart 350. One of the few classic sponsors that are still around at this point.
Yeah.
In a track that most of us still call Sears Point.
Yeah.
Me included. Shane Van Gisbergen won another road course race.
Asked me if you've heard that before. Hey, you know what, Darryl? What are you going to say? You know what I mean? Hey, you know what? Good for him. I mean, what do you do? I mean, what a drive, man. This dude, that 88 was hauling butt. I mean, Trackhouse Racing should be very excited, very proud. I mean, he dominated again. He led 26 laps, and he just looked great. This is his third win of the 2025 season. He continues to dominate these road courses. I mean, it was pretty cool, man. I was really happy to see this. We saw Catherine Legge, right? Driving.
Yeah, Catherine Legge had a good run this week too. She's really picked it up. I mean, as much as she can. The Live Fast car is the Live Fast car. Again, that's a complete sentence. That car is not very good, but
It's not, unfortunately. But I mean, we saw some cool stuff this weekend, though. The 49ers safety, Malik Mustafa, he drove the pace car. That was kind of cool since they're right up there in Northern California. That was pretty sweet. I don't know. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Darryl, NASCAR, they unveiled the EV prototype right at the track this week.
well, they had them at Chicago, so I think they ran them again at Sonoma. Still no word of what that is going to be as a racing series.
Yeah, don't quite know.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure that one out. I will enjoy it, whatever they're going to do. It is not going to take away from the series we already have, but I could see it being a companion series at a couple of races during the year.
Yeah.
It just depends, because it seems like we're shifting back towards hybrids. It's complicated on what this system is going to be used for.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. But back to the race. I mean, obviously we've seen, it ended in classic. Well, not really classic. Obviously, it does happen a lot. But there was like 75 cautions in the last 5 laps. That kind of thing happening. But overall, it was still great. I loved it. But it's crazy, man. Once you hit these restarts, you can see an SVG just pull away from everybody else. It's like, man, but great job by him. I mean, it was awesome. And I really love the race. To me, this is a race that's always very near and dear to me, even though some people can't stand it. And I understand that. But it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very fun race. Just obviously seeing SVG out there just doing what he does and dominating. But overall, I just really I love it. And it's kind of funny to think how dominant he is on these road courses, and we only have one more left, right? We have Watkins Glen coming up, and that's it. If I'm not mistaken,
We have
Another
2.
Roval.
We have Watkins Glen, and then we have the Roval.
I mean, I don't know, Darryl. I mean, it's kind of like Rafael Nadal in the French Open, like in the last decade. I mean, just give the guy the trophy before he gets there. I mean, it's kind of like SVG. I mean, are we gonna give him just grant him the victory and let everybody else race for second? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, do you think he's gonna dominate these next 2, or do you think that I don't know? I mean, obviously things happen, but
the thing is, if he can just run league average during the playoffs, during round 1, he's going to get to the round of 8 because he's going to win the Roval.
Yeah.
And that's going to start a whole nother can of worms. But he's got an opportunity to make a deep playoff run. He's starting to figure out the ovals. If he ever starts figuring out how to win on ovals, watch out.
That's going to be scary. I mean, seriously, can you imagine if he starts like dominating it'll be crazy. We might have I mean, he's gonna look like freaking, I mean, like the king back in the day, winning all these races consistently. I mean, it was pretty cool seeing him, do, like I said, do what he does this year and last season too. I mean, he did his thing in Mexico City and he looked great. But yeah, if he ever gets like dominant ever on ovals, I mean, that's gonna be pretty crazy. What's his highest finish on an oval right now, Darryl? Do you know?
I can find that out. I'm sitting here on the NASCAR.
Yeah, I'd love to, because I've been keeping track, but sometimes it's so hard to keep track of everything. Obviously, as you know too, Darryl. But yeah, I mean, the guy is just this is awesome, and I love the fact. I mean, come on, man, come from supercars. I mean, it's cool to see. I love it when you see that, when you see guys that are just like, yeah, I'm gonna go test here, like to me that's awesome. That's so cool when you can get a driver that's like, yeah, I'm going to completely switch to a different series because I love the challenge. I mean, this guy's great, and it's just really neat to see him evolving in NASCAR. I love it.
So his best finish on an oval so far has been 13th at North Wilkesboro as far as points races are concerned. Non-points races, he finished 9th at the Busch Light Clash at the very beginning of the year. But his finishes on the ovals, Michigan 18th, Nashville 25th, 14th at Charlotte. Atlanta, he was 24th, but he got involved in a wreck. Pocono 31st, but involved in a incident. He doesn't finish that great at the ovals. So there's a high probability he's going to be a first round exit. So
that sucks. I'd like to see him go as far as he can. I mean, again, I know a lot of the drivers kind of have mixed thoughts, I'm sure, but overall, I don't know. I know a lot of drivers are, a little angry, I'm sure, because this guy comes in as our dominating road courses. But what do? You beat him. You beat him. That's what you do. You beat him. And if you can't beat him, well, then I don't know. I mean, you just got to beat him. That's all there is to it. So, but yeah, he's done great. I love it. To me, he's phenomenal watching on these road courses, and let's see how far he can go. Let's see if he wakes it up and actually performs pretty decent. I mean, I don't know, Darryl. I know it's a long shot, but oh my gosh, how cool would it be to see him in the championship 4 this year?
That would be wild if he got there.
I'm just saying, I mean, to me, okay. I got to ask you this too. Obviously, I know we're running on time and I don't want to keep you forever all night, but come on, Darryl. Let me know, man. Let our listeners know here. What is a win for SVG this year? Has he already won with his road dominance, or in the playoffs? How far does he have to go? What's a real win this year for him is in the season?
If he gets out the first round, that's a successful season.
I could see that.
I think if he does that, he's doing something. And we're going to, when we start those playoffs, it'll be Darlington, Gateway, and the Bass Pro Shops night race. And the first time we went to Darlington, where did he finish? 20th.
Oh.
So, I mean, if he starts with the 20th, he might be okay, because he's going to be pretty high up the standings, but it's going to be tough, especially with the other 2 races in that schedule.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, because after that, you go to Gateway, which is a difficult one, and then Bristol is Bristol. And the last time we went to Bristol, Shane was 38th.
Oh,
last time at Bristol.
Goodness. My goodness. I'm excited for the baseball game in Bristol.
That's gonna be so weird, but I'm so excited to see it.
Hey, the SEC game was pretty cool. The football game in there, a couple years ago. So, but no, man. Let's see how far he can go. And you know what? Again, I mean, he's gonna be back next season, right? Did he say he's gonna?
Yeah,
be
he's signed up for a while, so he'll have a couple of bites at this.
Let's see. I'm excited. I want to see him get as far as he can go. Will he ever raise the trophy? I don't know, Darryl. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh my gosh, it's going to be one of those, what do they call that? Chariots of fire type of things in the next couple of years for his career. But I will tell you, the guy is talented. He can drive a freaking car. He knows what to do behind the wheel, especially on a road course. Let's see if he figures it out. Let's see if he can get it. Let's see if his run is good in NASCAR and if he can really put his name up there, of course, outside of the road courses. Let's see, man. I'm excited for it. And obviously, today's show, named Road Warriors, fits him well, doesn't it?
Yep. And we will see how he does in the next oval. Hopefully, he'll start picking it up, because then he will really start to become a danger in the Cup Series. Well, it is about time to wrap this one up for this weekend. Larry, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you as well to Freddie B of the Racelets podcast. Make sure to check out his show. It was great to talk to him about IndyCar again. Of course, help out with Kerr County flooding relief down there at the bottom. We'll have that running. We'll run that for the rest of the month to help them out down there. And want to thank everyone for joining us for this edition of The Extra Mile. And we will see you at the next green flag. Good night, everybody.